Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live. 110. Wow, I can't believe I've done this many episodes, live episodes. Hashtag Tether Ball. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess you know what today's about. So, yes, yes, yes. Anyways, let me go over the note section real quick for those of you who can't watch the complete episode, so you get a good idea of the synopsis of the show. In the notes section, I have an article, and it's a follow-up to, I guess, yesterday's live stream. Someone in the live stream in the chat let me know about the Tether hack, which I don't think it's that much of a big deal, considering it's just a more or less centralized network, the Omni network or the MadeSafe. I'm surprised they even need to do a hard fork. They should simply just go into their server and just go back to the last saved file that they have, and just start from there again. So, anyways, the name of the article is 31 million Tether hack linked to 2,700 Bitcoin in previous Bitcoin exchange theft. Now, apparently, the hacker has been linked to the Bitstamp hacked back in 2015, as well as the Hobu hacked, or Huobi, whatever you pronounce that Chinese exchange. If you don't know about Wallet Explorer, it's pretty useful, I guess, if you know what you're doing. But if you don't, it gets pretty confusing. But I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Also in the notes section is Bitcoin Cash, BCH, or Bcash, trading to be launched in supposedly end of December, beginning of January. It's dated today, and this is coming from Bitstamp itself, from the website. And so I'm going to be talking about those two things mainly. So today may not be a 2-hour show, or maybe it will. I don't know. Depends how much I want to rant. And also in the notes section is Frog Leap Game. Now, the previous episode, yesterday's episode, I talked about how that leapfrog game is essentially the same way how tethers are being created out of thin air. Now, what I'm going to do is, and I forgot to do this in the last episode, but I wanted to show you that it was possible to get all three frogs from the other side to go to the other side. They could jump over each other and essentially make it all the way through to the other side. So I will do that. I won't show you how I do that, but what I'll do is I'll do it. I'll take the share screen off, and I'll do it, and then I'll show you the end results, just to let you know that it is possible. So if you're wondering how tethers were created, just watch my last episode, and you'll get a great idea of how it's created. Not that hard, actually, if you think about it. So, all right, let me go over the other parts of the notes section. I got a section partitioned of all the potential, or if not already hard forked or snapshot of forks of Bitcoin. So if you hold Bitcoin right now, and I'm telling you, you should be holding Bitcoin, because just holding Bitcoin, you'll start making money, and let all these other, I don't know what to call these people, forkers. Let all these other forkers make money for you. Bitcoin Silver. I'm hearing things about Bitcoin Silver. Now, I don't know if this is really going to happen or not, but they have a pre-mine, so probably will. Right underneath that, I have a "It's time to stop" meme. Please, it is time to stop. Also, Bitcoin Platinum, which I think it was a joke, but considering how much money these forkers are making on these forks of Bitcoin, they may actually do Bitcoin Platinum. I don't know how they're going to do Bitcoin Platinum because the multi algorithm. I don't think that's technically possible, but you know, if you give a forker a chance, they will fork you. Also, is in the note section is Bitcoin Uranium. Oh my goodness, the radioactive coin. And Bitcoin Cash Plus, looks like Bitcoin Cash Plus will be happening in January. Boy, we're going to get a lot of forking coins. And Bitcoin Clashic, or Bitcoin Clashic, trying to do my Sean Connery voice. After all, my my name of the show is James Bond Bitcoin Live, so I might grow a little fondness to the Bitcoin Clashic. So, but that's already happened. That actually, well, it never really forked, so I can't say that this coin's a forking coin, or these people who made Bitcoin Clashic are forkers. So maybe that's an exception. Maybe I can be okay with that. Next to that is welcome to Bitcoin Segwit 2x. Project name BitcoinX or BTX or BTC2. They haven't really made up their mind on that yet. That is the fake Segwit 2x hard fork. The original Segwit 2x hard fork missed it by that much. In other words, they were off by one, and they never had a chance to initiate their hard fork. So it was pretty much a dead project. But this Segwit 2x fork is not going to compete for the algorithm, so mining competition won't be there. But the coin will be a fork of Bitcoin. So there's a small chance in the future, very, very small chance, that if all the other forks of Bitcoin, for one reason or another, does not make it, Segwit 2x, if that's the only one that survives, then yes, that will be Bitcoin one day. Fat chance, but you never know. And then I have Super Bitcoin. Out of all the other Bitcoins, this is Super Bitcoin. I wonder what their symbol is going to be. Maybe it'll be like a Superman kind of shape. It'll be like that kind of diamond shape, and it'll have like that same mush shape. Instead of an S, it'll be like a B, and they can call it Super Bitcoin. They could probably put it on a blue shirt, and then start selling T-shirts that way. Because selling T-shirts is like the rage. Everyone's wearing T-shirts these days. I don't know if I'm like involved in a cryptocurrency or if I'm involved in apparel, because apparently putting a symbol of your cryptocurrency on a T-shirt is all the rage now. So that'd be something. You know what? I'm gonna contact Super Bitcoin, and I'm gonna talk to these guys, and I'm gonna let them know they need a T-shirt. They need like a blue T-shirt with like a Superman diamond shaped symbol. Maybe it'll be like the color. The color will be, it's a new design. You could put a logo on it. It'll be like a Superman logo, and you can make it a B symbol or put SB, or maybe just an S, right? Just super. I don't know, but you can make it like a Superman kind of shirt. Instead of like S, you could put SB or maybe an S. Who knows? And you just put a little title on top of it called Super Bitcoin. And then there's Bitcoin Diamond. Now, I'm thinking of, if you're a marketer And all marketers, they only think about one thing: how to sell and make money, or try to sell and make money. Marketing people will like do anything. They'll get on their hands and knees and start sucking if it helps them make money. And ironically, that's what some of these people actually do. But Bitcoin Diamond, well, I think you can use Bitcoin Diamond to buy diamonds, maybe at the mall, or maybe like in Africa where you have blood diamonds. You can use. I could see a niche for Bitcoin Diamond. And of course, I have a link to a list of airdrops for all those people who want free money falling from the sky. That's in the notes section there. And then underneath that, there's another partition where I have Segwit charts. I have a link to that, as well as Coin Codex. If you're tired of looking at BitConnect and the BitConnect ads, you can use Coin Codex. It's a listing platform, very similar to CoinMarketCap.com. Another one is Livecoin Watch. I like that one because it has a 7-day. It's kind of nice to have a 7-day. I wish they may. I wish they could have like a month and a year, or a way you can change all that. So you can get an idea of like how much you're up in a year, and you'll be surprised. You're like, most of the coins, at least in fiat terms and U.S. dollar terms, they're up like a lot. But if you compare it to Bitcoin, they're probably not faring so well. You probably lost your Bitcoin, or lost Bitcoin, or you barely broke even. So I like to see a listing platform that shows that. And then of course, this is a Joho's mempool statistics. Great tool to use if you are wondering what the appropriate fee to send your Bitcoin should be at that time. It's a really nice graphical interface that should help you determine how to set your fees. And then another listing platform that's a little different or unique. Oh, I forgot. I skipped over most of these. I forgot about CoinGecko. Now, CoinGecko is another listing platform. Doesn't have BitConnect on it. That at least not the banner, but it's unique in that it shows you an index of developer involvement and also community participation. So developer participation as well as community participation. And then bitinfocharts.com, another listing platform that I really like to use. They do have other coins. It's not so user friendly. It looks very crude, but it is actually a very good listing platform site. And it also gives you like hash rates, block times, transaction volumes, and you can compare it against other cryptocurrencies. And you'll be surprised what you find. It may break your belief, or your belief in the token and what you thought it was to what it really is. When you have the hard data, when you look at the facts of your token, you may want to change your mind about the token. And then finally, Salum or Salumi.io. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but that's another listing platform. I really like that one because and they updated it a little bit. I might actually go do it today, but they incorporated Reddit and Twitter now, so you can see the feeds, and they measure the feeds for Reddit and Twitter. Hopefully they'll get Facebook on there and maybe some other social media platform to measure from and get an idea of when a coin is pumping and when they're dumping. Because most of these coins don't really do anything, right? These coins don't represent a company. They don't produce any products or services. They're just simply there for you to buy. And most of these coins never get really used. Um, I know for a fact Bitcoin gets used. All right, it is used for sending money, and Bitcoin probably is money, digital money for the most part, or digital gold, however you want to think about it. But it is being used, and no one has ever come to me and given me. And here's the thing, like no one's given me a Segwit address so far to send to. All right, because they really don't know anything about it, and they are willing to pay for the transaction fees. I pass those down to the buyer or to the seller, and you have people who are willing to absorb those fees. So obviously there is some use case for it, and Bitcoin's the only use case I've ever had. I've never had any experience with anything else. Not Tether, not Ethereum, not Litecoin, not Monero. So just 411 for you guys. Also in the notes section is the unique thing about Salome.io is that it measures social volume, social media volume. So you know when a coin is being talked about or being pumped, in my opinion. Transaction accelerator, which you probably don't need. Transaction volumes are pretty low on Bitcoin. And then have a link to Bitcoin Cash hash rate historical chart 6 months. And if you just want to know what the hash rate is between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, because they do compete for the same algorithm, for the same mining algorithm. But it's interesting to see what the total is, because ideally that total hash rate from Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash should be going up. And recently it's kind of been a little low. So I think there might be some truth to mining in China. There might be some crackdown in mining in China. Might be. All right, and then I have here also in the notes section, partitioned in its own thing, is can Bitcoin be replaced via multiple hard forks? James Bond interview. That's from Crush the Street. If you haven't checked that out, please do. I say some very interesting things. Also, a link to collecting your free Bitcoin Gold coins with Coinami, and it's a link to the support desk to Coinami. It'll tell you that tells you how to split your Bitcoin to Bitcoin Gold if you already had Bitcoin on your Coinami, but they also tell you how to sweep your private keys or how to import your backup seed into Coinami and split your Bitcoin Gold that way. And also, if you're, for one reason or another, can't comprehend the support, I did make a video showing how to split your Bitcoin from your Bitcoin Gold from your Bitcoin if you already had Bitcoin on your Konami, and then have a link to Bitcoin Gold website. And of course, if you were watching my video and you saw an ad of either Craig Grant or his mistress Juliana talk about how great and wonderful BitConnect is, and you should all join, and that he's made, and if he's showing you how much money he's made, like so much money that he needs you to sign up for BitConnect. I don't know why anybody who's a millionaire, who's a crypto millionaire, would want you to sign up under him if he's already rich. But if you are, you may want to consider checking these articles and videos out. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? And of course, if you don't want to read those, I have a video for you, James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017. And I basically interview 3 BitConnectors. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. And 2 of them rage quit. One of them was stupid enough to stick around to tell you how you can find them. And the fourth gas was just a regular gas. And it was pretty obvious for the person who wasn't involved in BitConnect that BitConnect is a Ponzi. But everybody else who was involved in BitConnect, who basically described what a Ponzi is and told you what a Ponzi is, couldn't realize that BitConnect is a Ponzi. Interesting. I wonder why. And then finally, I have two videos, not one, but two videos of the video theme for this video, which is Napoleon Dynamite. Yes. And then the other one is Napoleon Dynamite, which is, I think, the ending scene. And then I have hashtag yes2x77. I'm still doing the hashtag yes2x thing because Segwit 2x did fork. The fake Segwit 2x forked. So it did happen. There's a link to this meme that you're looking at right now. And then have a link to Pot of Gold, a link to the Pot of Gold, and the donational address to Pot of Gold donational address. It's a Segwit address. Feel free to donate. It's part of a video, I guess, treasure hunt series. Typically, I do treasure hunts within my memes or in my videos, and I usually have some kind of QR code, or maybe I use stenography. In other words, I hide the information in the memes itself, and you should be able to extract them. Now, I haven't recently because of the hard fork, so I'm not moving my coins around, but some of my past videos, they still have Bitcoins in them. You just need to go out and seek them out in some of my past videos. And so good luck to you there. Anyways, so that's it. Let's see who's all in the live chat. And we should see who's all in here. I think Olaf Husky was in here earlier, but my live chat reset. But anyways, let's see here. Okay, Olaf Husky, Yellow Fever for you, 21 million. Dual overhead camness. Richie Rich, Yellow Fever for you. Patrick, good. You're welcome back. My name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Welcome to the channel. I love the name that you name yourself. And sure, give us your referral code, and I'll give you mine. My referral code for BitConnect is 2, the number 2, RETAR, and then my name, my first name, Ed. So it's 2 retarded. All right. So welcome to the channel. My name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Love the name. Love the name. And so, anyways, thank you all for joining in the live chat. Have fun in there. There's no rules. You can just chat it up to your heart's desire. And that's the best way to communicate with me during the live stream as well. All right, so let's go on with the meme here. It says, yes, yes, yes. You want to play? You want to play me? Oh, goodness. Hello, Blender Mania. Welcome to the chat. And so let me give you a definition of Tether. Okay, just to give you an idea what the dictionary, all right, what the dictionary says the definition of Tether is. Tie an animal with a rope or chain so as to restrict its movement. All right. Another one is that's the verb version of tether. Here's the noun version of tether. A rope or chain with which an animal is tied to restrict its movement. I think that's what Tether pretty much is. I think that's the appropriate, very appropriate name for Tether. Let's see what other definitions they have here. A rope, chain, or the like by which an animal is fastened to or fastened to a fixed object so as to limit its range of movement, the utmost length to which one can go in action, the utmost extent or limit of ability or resources to fasten or confine with or as if with a tether. So welcome to Tether, everybody. Welcome to the life of Tether. So that's the definition of Tether, and I think that's really appropriate to the name of Tether, because apparently those things are pretty much worthless, and I think you should all dump your tethers and buy Bitcoin with them. So, all right, so let's get to the meat here, and let's go on with the show. Oh yeah, of course, the Bitcoin pot of gold. You got to have a Bitcoin pot of gold. Gotta love it. So the QR code with the arrow is a donational address. It points to the Bitcoin pot of gold. Please donate if you have your smartphone with you. If you're watching this on your computer, on your TV, or some other device, take out your Bitcoin wallet and scan that QR code. Push send all, and then send, and then high priority, and then send again, and we'll get this thing going. I think there's $60. I think we're still above $8,000, so there should be about $60 worth of Bitcoin. Now I need someone to donate into it to make it officially go to $60, and I will give away the 6th clue of the 24-word recovery seed. So it's a 6th clue to the 6th word of the 24-word recovery seed. The QR code on the right is an encrypted private key. Now keep in mind, this is a Segwit address, a Segwit wallet. So unless you have a Segwit wallet or you know how to use a Segwit sender, you may not get that far. But it's an encrypted private key. If you can guess the password, all those Bitcoins are yours. And then there's the QR code on the bottom. And if you use a regular QR code scanner, not your wallet, or some wallets actually will take you to the website. But that is Yellow Fever for Use channel. He's the one that gave me this idea, so check him out when you have the chance. All right, let's move on. All right, so goodness, I'm sure everyone already knows about this, but you know, I do want to follow up on it from yesterday's channel or from yesterday's show. Someone in the chat did mention, and people were talking about the Tether hack, but and I did have a chance to talk about it and mention it just a little bit. And thank you for providing me that information in the chat. But I like to talk about it just a little bit more. 31 million Tether hack linked to the 27,000 Bitcoin in a previous Bitcoin exchange theft. And it turns out that it's the wallet that was used for the Tether is basically a Bitcoin address, and that Bitcoin address also had some Bitcoins, and some of those were taken out to a wallet that has been linked to the Bitstamp heist back in 2015, and also the Huobi theft as well. There was a point where there was a rash of exchanges that basically had their Bitcoin stolen. They were getting their hot wallets stolen. And so it seems like this is the same hacker. So this is very interesting news that has come up. Let me scroll down and see what quotes I can read from it. There are links to it. It does utilize Wallet Explorer. If you don't know what Wallet Explorer is, it's a website that if you put in the address, Bitcoin address, it depending where it came from. I know if the address came from an exchange and you put that address in there, it'll tell you the exchange. It'll tell you local Bitcoins. It'll tell you the darknet markets. So if your coins came from a questionable source, darknet market or an exchange, local Bitcoins, or a known wallet that will probably taint your coins, the Wallet Explorer will tell you where your Bitcoins came from, the source of your Bitcoins, or where it's been. So interesting, very interesting tool if you want to ever get into that. Let's read this quote here. I actually wasn't looking for it at all, which is the crazy thing. It looks like they transferred 0.01 Bitcoin to the wallet they were going to move the 3 million tethers to several hours before, presumably so that they would have Bitcoin in the wallet to pay the fees to move those stolen tethers afterwards. In the end, the Tether wallet had a little over 5 Bitcoin, which they took as well, so they actually didn't need to do that at all. So this is I'm assuming the author who wrote this article and made that quote. The interesting thing is they were able to trace back the wallet to a local Bitcoins account, and that local Bitcoins account may have information on whoever owns that local Bitcoins account. Will it be that person? Who knows? Who knows? Because in reality, maybe the hacker bought some Bitcoin off of local Bitcoins anonymously. And so no one would really know. And plus, you could always still use man in the middle. Man in the middle attack is, in other words, you get someone, an unwitting fool, to go and pay for those Bitcoins, and you're in the middle. You're brokering a trade, and the two parties that are involved, the other two parties that are involved, don't know about it. They think they're interacting with each other, but they're really interacting with you. And so you could, it may not lead anywhere in reality. Hey, how you doing, Q, bro? Welcome back. And DD8209, how you doing? Welcome back. So interesting read, man. Just one twist after another. Even on holiday, you can never really take a break from Bitcoin. You can never take a break from Bitcoin because there are so many things that are happening. You just have to. Well, you don't have to keep up to date, but there's so many things about Bitcoin. It's a 24/7, 365 days a year, plus the 1 day on a leap year. You can talk about this every day. There's something to talk about every day. If it's not Bitcoin, then it's some crap coin or Ethereum or it's some ICO or some exit scam or whatever. I mean, there's definitely a lot to talk about. Something about the crypto space every day. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here. All right, so this is coming from Bitstamp. Looks like Bitstamp will support trading on their exchange for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash and BCH trading to be launched. Dear customers, in response to the demand we have been seeing for Bitcoin Cash trading, BCH, and as part of our efforts to list more currencies, we have decided to provide trading support for the following three pairs: BCH to US dollar, BCH to euro, and BCH to BTC. And so, is this good or bad? I'm not sure, because I know BitMEX is going to dump their Bitcoin Cash and reimburse their customers with Bitcoin. Now you have more exchanges, especially Bitstamp. I mean, Bitstamp, if you do KYC with Bitstamp, you will definitely be able to withdraw actual real money. Well, I unfortunately, I am on break. I am on break forever for the rest of my life. That's why I can do this every day. I don't know how long I can do this every day, but I will do this every day because there's always something to talk about in Bitcoin land or cryptocurrency land. So I am on break. Man, the day I have to go back to work, it's the day that I'm going to dread the most. So I don't know how to take this. Is this good or bad? I guess I guess it can go either way. I mean, we could take a look at the price of we could take a look at the price of Bitcoin Cash real quick. See what the price is. All right, so let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. Its market cap it's kind of shrinking, but it's at 19, almost 20 million. And let's see what for the week. The week is it's up 6.52%. But if I compare that to Ethereum for 7 days, I'm looking here on the 7-day right here. For Ethereum, it's 13%, and for Bitcoin, it's up 22%, almost 23%. So, and man, Dash is just at 18%. Very interesting. But let me just go and click on Bitcoin Cash and see what is going on with them. So this may increase trading volume, but will it increase market cap? I don't know. I have to admit that I think there's a lot of people who are waiting to dump their Bitcoin Cash. And so if you consider what BitMEX is going to be doing around December and January, they're going to be dumping. The actual statement right here says, I think the launch is scheduled to occur in the first week of December. So December, you'll have your Bitcoin Cash available for Bitstamp trading. And I think a lot of people are going to dump because it is a high price. And also, they probably want to buy some Christmas gifts for themselves, which is kind of nice. And at the same time, BitMEX around that same time will also be dumping their Bitcoin stamp, not Bitcoin stamp, Bitcoin Cash tokens for Bitcoin. And then around January, I think Coinbase, and I guess Coinbase, and that would also mean GDAX, will have their Bitcoin Cash available. Now, if they were smart, they would offer it for sale and to buy. They would offer it on Coinbase and on GDAX. It's probably most likely if Bitstamp is going to be doing this, there may be other exchanges that are going to make it available as well. And so there's going to be more liquidity, but that also means more places to dump your Bitcoin Cash and to buy Bitcoin. So it cuts both ways. This may not be a good thing, but it may not be a bad thing. And if Bitcoin Cash is going to compete as Bitcoin Cash, they're going to need exchange support, because uh, if they want to use this like cash, like for merchant adoption, and the problem with merchant adoption is if you use Bitcoin Cash like cash, none of these merchants are going to hold any of this. So what's going to happen is they're going to rely on merchant processors to sell their coins for fiat, right? To reimburse their customers with fiat. And so you're probably going to see selling pressure on the exchanges, because if people do really use Bitcoin Cash for buying coffee, and the vendor, or the businesses that take the payment for Bitcoin Cash, they're not going to be holding, they're just using this as a medium of exchange, they're going to rely on the merchant processor to receive money, and the merchant processor is going to get flooded unless they could sell to you and me. But I wouldn't at this point in time buy Bitcoin Cash. So there's going to be a lot of selling pressure, in my opinion, if this is going to be happening. And so, oh goodness, my name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Have you ever tried BitConnect? Unfortunately, I have not tried BitConnect. And do I want to see your Bitcoin wallet? Well, I think if everyone's seen your ad, they probably have. You know, it would be really nice if there was a way that he can, if Craig Grant really owns like that many Bitcoins, he should sign a message with his wallet so everyone can verify it, because sometimes things can be spoofed, like just about everything in this cryptocurrency space. We should all trust. It's not we should trust and not verify. It's we should verify and not trust. That's, I think, the motto of this community. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here. All right, so here, of course, I'm still going to go over the transaction fees, the mempool, and a chart analysis. We're almost at the end of the live stream here. So here is the puzzle, in which how do you get the 3 female frogs on the right side right here, and then all the male frogs, all the green male frogs here. How do you get these female frogs to the other side, and how do you get these male frogs to this side? And if the point of this was to show how tethers were being created out of thin air, which they are. They are, okay. And I showed you how they do that. If you tried to do this, you probably run across a problem like, let me see if I can do it. There's 1 frog, 2 frogs, right? I would be getting 1 frog across, but some reason I can't get the other 3 frogs across. And so this is an interesting puzzle. This is a reset button right here. You're going to reset. And so, you try different things out. And, if you try to do some things here, you'll see that it's a challenging puzzle, but you can do it. You can get all 3 female frogs over here to one side, and all the male frogs over here, and get them over this side. So it's a little tricky. It's kind of hard for someone who doesn't know how to do this. But once you do this, you will understand how tethers are created out of thin air with no risk to the issuer, but 100% risk to the issuee, which is you and me. and we're all holding ticking time bombs for the most part. But we can do this forever, and just like BitConnect, and BitConnect's actually even worse, because not only do they create a token called BitConnect tokens, they have a platform where they also create fictional money that you see on your website. You know, all those hundreds and millions and thousands of dollars. Well, there's no money there. It's just a number on a website, people. It's really disgusting. So not only do they create tokens out of thin air, they apparently create money or a number out of thin air and put it in front of you and put a dollar sign in front of it, and you think you're rich, but not. You know, you have to realize that the only thing real was Bitcoin that you gave up, and somebody else has your Bitcoin now and probably making commercials about it. So enjoy this puzzle. It's also in the notes section up on the top. This is Leapfrog Game, or what is it called? What's the name of this thing? Frog Leap Game. And at the end of the show, I will actually do the puzzle and show you that it is possible. All right. So let's see here. Oh, we're back to this. So yes, yes, yes. You want to play me? Anybody want to play a game called Tether? Would you like? Is anybody good at tetherball? Do you all remember? Have you ever played tetherball? I remember growing up in elementary or even middle school, and they would have this in the playground. And I never liked this tetherball game. I never liked it. It's really boring. It's not really. I don't know if it's really challenging, but it's just kind of weird. The ball is literally tethered to the pole, and the whole point of it is to get the ball tethered even more around the pole, and then whoever does that first wins. I don't know about that game. That game seems to it's not my cup of tea, but for some people, I guess it's their cup of tea. So anyways, enjoy the meme. Now let me actually go to the mempool. Let's have a look at this one right here. All right, so let's just look at the unconfirmed transaction count, and it's eating through the 5 to 10 satoshis. You can see that right. You can see that right here. And so it looks like some of the transactions have come down. Of course, this holiday, I don't expect a lot of drug deals or terrorist activity, or what else? Kidnappings and whatnot to happen using Bitcoin, or even ransomware. Not on a holiday. Let's even scammers need to spend some time with their family, right? I mean, even the scammers need to spend time with their family. Oh, that's the other thing about Tethers, Olaf Husky. Yeah, if you ever played Tether, you end up getting bonked in the head too. So that's another reason why I don't like that game. I think that's happened to me. After that, I said, screw this. After that, I said, fork. I said, fork this, and that's what happened. So we're almost getting into the 0 to 5 Satoshi per byte. So I think it's safe to put in a very low amount of anywhere from 5 to 10 Satoshis, or maybe even 10 to 20 just in case. And your transaction will probably be put into the next block relatively shortly. You don't have to wait for days. So thank goodness. Let's see what this is in fees here. If I scroll down, it'll probably look like a bunch of jagged crystals. which, yeah, looks like a bunch of jagged crystals. When this graph, the pending transaction fee in Bitcoin, when you see this graph, if it's a bunch of jagging crystals, that's good because it means that the mempool is not full. It just, these spikes are, I guess, peak levels, and then they drop down very quickly, which means they're getting added into the block. And so that's good to see. Now this one, mempool size in megabytes. So you see, you can see that it's actually dipping here. It's actually right here. You can see it actually working its way into the mempool of the spam, of the low transaction fee. And that's good because the more it does that, it can flush this out. And then everybody, even me, can now do transactions for 1 Satoshi per byte. I can finally get back to 1 cent transaction fee. And so Bitcoin, people complain that the mempool is full, which it is. It does get full. Someone's filling it. But when it's under normal use and normal conditions, typically I don't think the blocks really are that full. And I've been able to do 1 cent transaction fees. How you doing, 21 million? I saw you in the chat there. And then Bitcoin B, welcome back. Free Skillshare Media. What wallet do you use? Let me see here. I'm just reading through the chat, see if there's any questions. 21 million, you're making me laugh. 21 million says Craig spends time with Juliana thinking of more scams to use on people. Oh, you're too hilarious. So free Skillshare Media. What wallet do I use? I typically use I've used many wallets. I've used hot wallets. I've used multi-signature wallets. I've used time lock wallets. I've used wallets on my phone. I've never used a wallet on the computer, unless it's a web-based wallet. But I don't use a full node wallet. But now what I do is I use paper wallets. And they're typically generated offline. But sometimes they're not, like the test wallets I do, or sometimes when I do tutorial videos, I'll generate a wallet online. So I've never been hacked that way. But I do use, for the most part, paper wallets. And that way the private key is stored not on paper either. I shouldn't even say paper wallets. I use wallet generators, and they randomly generate the private and the public keys. And I use mnemonic wallet generators as well, and so I'm able to use that. I also use Coinbin. Coinbin's another wallet generator. And Coinbin is a wallet sender as well. Matter of fact, there's several wallet senders or Bitcoin senders that you can use. Coinbin is one of them. Is coinb.in, and they generate wallets. They're also a web wallet, and they also generate Segwit wallets, time lock wallets, multi-signature wallets. And so that's a very useful website. And they also send your Bitcoins as well. And so that's what I've been using. I've been using Coinbin quite a bit because I can do multiple addresses. And so, and then I can choose the outputs and inputs and try to, if I wanted to, I can combine some of the outputs and turn them into one input, or or two inputs actually, then what ends up happening is you put the addresses where you want to send your Bitcoin, and then obviously they got to come back to an address. So you can forward it to a new address, or you could forward it back to the old address, depending how you want to do it. So a lot of flexibility, and then you can set the fees. You could set the fees to whatever you want, and then you can broadcast it. You sign it with the private key, and then you broadcast the signature. And depending on how the mempool is situated, if it's extremely full, the transaction may not go through. Depending on some of the nodes that are reading the broadcast, some may pick it up and some won't. And interestingly enough, when I did experiment with it, I did a lot of very low transaction fees. I think 600 satoshis is the lowest that Coinbin allows me to do, and I was sending a lot to everybody's donational address. And I spent the unconfirmed transaction. So I kept doing that several times, and I was able to double spend. But if you watch the Wallet Explorer, it will tell you that the coins were double spent. And I just had to wait for the blocks to confirm the transaction, and then it just dropped. The double spent just dropped. So a lot of flexibility on how you use things. So Patrick, you played tetherball. You must have been pretty good at it, because I sucked. So you're having some issues with green address. Okay, I don't use green address. I don't know if that is that a wallet? What is it? Like phone app wallet? I think that might be green address. But anyways, let me move on here. Another thing I did want to do is go over Salome.io, and let's see what is hot on the social media volume. That should tell us what coins are pumping and what coins are, well, after they get pumped, they usually get dumped. So you'll see a negative, which usually means that no one's talking about it. And they added tweets. So before it was just Reddit. Now they added tweets, or they added Twitter. And you can see some of the trending coins up here. Zcoin is trending big time. What's another coin? NXT seems to be trending for some reason. Let's see what else. Chaincoin, at least trending on social media. Storage, I have no idea why this coin is moving, but it is trending and is getting a lot of social volume for some reason. Don't know why. Economy also getting a lot of social volume. So you're seeing a lot of AdX, another social volume, getting very high social volume. We'll check out the prices here. So you can see right here, it tells you the social volume that it has. Bitcoin has 9,000 in social volume. And then it tells you the change. It was 10,000 earlier, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see, Tether is definitely getting a lot of attention. And it makes sense because of the whole situation that some of the tethers was hacked, and looking at the price change now, Tether is usually pegged to $1, but I'm assuming Tether is getting some negative social volume here. Let's see, let's scroll down. What other things are getting social volume here? Vertcoin's getting an increase in social volume. It's also getting an increase in price. So when you look at these, I think there's a very high correlation between the social volume, like how much a coin or cryptocurrency is being talked about over social media, and the price. They seem to correlate a great deal, because remember, these coins, They don't do anything. They don't make a product. They don't offer a service. It just takes other people's money and gives it to other people. So it takes money from you and then gives it to other people. That's all these things do. And the way to do that is through social media, either YouTube. Hopefully they'll put some. Hopefully the site will also incorporate some YouTube as well as Facebook and other social media or social websites or other social tracking, because YouTube is heavily used to influence buying and selling. Heavily used. And Dash, you can see Dash here is pumping at 51% increase. You can see the chart. This is not a price chart. This is a social volume chart. And then next NST. Wow, look at that. Up 44%. But you can see when this goes up, social media frenzy is happening right now. Also, Zcoin, ARC seems like, and you can see it's affecting the price. Lisk, Waves seems to be getting a lot of social media attention. Economy, look at this. I guess this is the score, 113. So I guess at one point, Economy had a social volume of 1, and all of a sudden now has 13 or something, but the price is only this much here. So I don't know what's going on with that. Andor, look at that percentage increase in price. So as people start talking on the social media platforms and social sites, you can see they correlate to the price. So I find this site very interesting, like Steam. Well, Steam itself is a social media platform, but you can see that they're getting pumped here, obviously, and you see how they correlate. And Omni's being talked about for obvious reasons, but look how low they are in the social standings. I mean, like the ranking is like, and like if you compare the ranking of the top 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look at the top 5, they have over 1,000 in social volume, and then as you get down here, some of these have barely break triple digits in their social volume. Right here, really. So it just goes to show how easy it is to manipulate the social volume, because if no one's talking about it, then all of a sudden one person tweets out a cryptocurrency. It's gone from like 0 to 100 or 0 to 1,000. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here. I think it was Bitcoin fees.earn. So Bitcoin fees.earn. All right, so yeah, you can see this right here, 1 to 10 satoshis. It still has a lot of transactions in the mempool. You see this brown, red, but the transactions are increasing here. Transactions in 24 hours in this blue bar, and you can see it's from 30 to 10 satoshis. So these are the transactions that are getting picked up, and you can see the times here. They're reasonable now. It used to be very high, and so if you look at this, you'll see a lot of transactions happening. Looks like people are still overpaying quite a bit. Probably 170 satoshis here, 150 to 180 satoshis, which is average, I guess, but still overpaying. And some people are actually paying 300 satoshis per byte. Wow. So let's see here. So the fastest and cheapest transaction currently is 300. I think that's too much. That they're overpaying. They should probably be. They should probably most likely be in this area right here. This is probably where you want to be to get your transactions in. Anywhere from 40 satoshis per byte to 140, and so that's probably the best, in my opinion, the cheapest, and maybe not the fastest, but it's. I think you're going to get your satoshis worth to being in this range right here. So, and then last but not least, actually, let me check out some other prices here real quick. I'm curious to see how all the Bitcoin prices are coming along. I want to check out Bitcoin Gold here. I keep forgetting to check that. And see if there's any other Bitcoins that are being listed here. All right, so Bitcoin, oh my goodness, the Bitcoin Gold has gone up to $243. So Bitcoin Gold is pumping. Not bad. Where's the price? So it has hit a peak right here recently. Let me see what it says. $257 is the peak, and that was earlier in the day, I guess, almost 5 hours ago. And right now it's $243.04 according to this. Let me see where the price is coming from. It's coming from BitFenix, but I wonder how good that is. BitFenix may not be may not be a great place to trade right now. I'm hearing rumors that there's withdrawal issues, but we don't. I don't know. I haven't traded there for almost a year now. But let me see what other prices are here. Yeah, it looks like 240. Wow, that's impressive. So I hope you all have your Bitcoin Gold. And so, all right, let's. It went up to 273. Okay, wow, that's pretty high. Been earlier from yesterday, like right about here. No, that says 258. Maybe it went up to 273. All right. Well, I'm just keeping my eye on that, and amazing. All right. So let's go to chart analysis. I don't know. Should I do the puzzle? Should I do the puzzle? Let me do the puzzle here. Hold on. I gotta stop screen sharing for that. Okay. So I'm gonna do the puzzle without showing you guys. So I'm moving the frogs right now. All right, now I'm gonna share my screen here. All right, so there you go. I just did it. So these are the male frogs right here, and these are the female frogs. And I just moved them from one side to the other, and I'll just restart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There we go. See, so it is possible. You can do it. try it out. There's a link to it in the notes section. It's called Frog Leap Game. And I'm telling you, this is how tethers are created. If you can figure out how to get the 3 frogs on one side to the other, you can start creating money out of thin air. You can figure out how to create money out of thin air. I do it by using Bitcoin. And if you're able to figure that out by using Bitcoin, why would you need any other altcoin? Why would you need a BitConnect platform? Well, unless you want to scam people out of their Bitcoins. But why would I need to do that when I can actually generate as much money out of thin air and use that money out of thin air to buy essentially more Bitcoins? And if the whole world is doing that, you can understand how Bitcoin can go to infinity. Bitcoin will go to infinity. It may go, it can go up to $1 million, $100 million, a bazillion dollars to infinity, literally. As long as you know how to get the frogs to the other side, you'll understand how you can create money out of thin air. Amazing. Yeah, well, oh goodness. Well, you want me to do it again? Here, I'll do it one more time. You see it right here, right? The frogs here. I'll push here. I'll just move the frog so you see that it works, and I'll reset it. I'm going to reset it, and then I'm going to close. I'm going to stop. I don't want to show you because I don't want to ruin the fun for you guys, because this is fun. I mean, you know what's funny is that um, this is supposedly a 5-year-old can do this. No kidding. This is a 5-year-old problem. A fifth grader, a fifth grader, not a 5-year-old, I guess, but apparently this is a 5th grade problem that everyone should be able to do. But you know what? You'll be surprised how many people don't know how to do this. All right, I'm going to share my screen one more time, and all right, there you go. I just did it again. Yellow fever for you. Yeah, go ahead and use my frog link and sign up under me when you do this. Yes, you get you get a free frog. And hey, you know what? So in some places, frogs are an aphrodisiac, and some places, frogs make you hallucinate. I remember a time when, gosh, I don't know, that people were, what were people doing? People were licking frogs to hallucinate and get high. And I don't know what type of frog it was, but people were literally licking frogs. Now, I don't know if they do that now, but my goodness. Yes, I've succumbed to pumping. I've succumbed to pumping links that take you to these frog games, in which you get unlimited amount of frogs. Frog Connect. That's right. I'm pumping Frog Connects. So you sign up under me, everybody. When you link it, let them know the code is 007, and then you'll get stuck. You'll never get your frogs out unless you sign somebody else up, and then your frogs will get released. Anyways, you guys are cracking me up. All right, so now I'm going to do a chart analysis. Yes, I'm guilty of pushing Frog Connect. Sorry. Oh, goodness. All right, we're still at we're over 8,000. I figured all this scare of me talking about tethers and how Bitfinex is, you know, Bitfinex is having all these problems may drive the price down, but apparently nobody cares. And nobody cares, and the price still goes up. Amazing. I don't think Tether really is Tether is a systemic risk, but I don't think it's a systemic risk to Bitcoin because if you are if you are in Tether on whatever exchange that you're on that uses Tether, uh, most likely what you're going to do to get out of Tether is eventually buy Bitcoin. And if you try to buy an altcoin, that's fine too, but eventually you're going to end up buying Bitcoin. So if you look at the total market cap, if I can go to total market cap. Oh, sorry for the right screen. Total market cap, let's go total market cap. Finally. Okay, total market cap right here. Sorry if it's not big enough. It's right. Total market cap is right here. 238 billion dollars. $238 billion. Now, if I take that and divide it by the circulating supply of Bitcoin, I wonder what price of Bitcoin will be. Let's see here. So 238 billion. My goodness, that is a large number. That is like 9 zeros after that. All right. Divided by the current supply, which is 16,694,300. All right. So if you take the circulating supply, if you take the total market cap divided by the circulating supply, price of Bitcoin would be $14,556.36. That's not bad, and that's kind of within my line of your price actually. Let's see here. I was saying originally, one of the things I was saying, if you took the current price of 17 and you times it by 2.66, actually 2.88. So if you took 7,000, this trend line right here, is almost at 7,000. So I'm just going to round out 7,000 times 2.88. Actually, that actually takes you up a little bit higher. So if I took the exact price, which is, let me see here what the exact price is. 69.30 now. 69.30 times, I think it was 2.66, but I'll use 2.66. It's at 18,433. So these prices, everything seems to be pointing to a higher price. That's amazing. Wow. Price is just the projected price is increasing every day because I'm just taking this trend line here. I'm just taking this trend line and I'm just figuring a price based on what happened last time in 2013. So everything's pointing to the prices going up higher. Let's see here. I'm just drawing some lines here. So let's go on to 1 hour. Do the 1 hour, except draw some more support lines. Let me see. Support lines here, and I guess I can put another support line here on the 1 hour, so gets a good idea. So there's not much to look at. I could again draw a trend line. You draw a trend line and get an idea of that. And you get something kind of like this. Well, you probably, when you hear a lot of numbers being thrown out, you got to ask yourself, where are they coming up with some of these numbers? And I'm assuming that 14,000 number is probably because they took the total market cap and divided by the current circulating supply of Bitcoin. And I guess the assumption is all these other coins really have no market value because you really can't trade peer-to-peer with them. My experience is you can't trade peer-to-peer with any of these altcoins, and if you do, then it's a one-off fluke, right? Can you get a repeat? Right? Can you get a repeat trade going using whatever altcoin? And typically the answer is no. Not even Monero. Okay, and supposedly Monero is the choice of the dark markets, but it seems like Monero is the choice of the dark markets for nerds. And so, how many nerds do you know like are in the dark net market trade or are in that kind of underworld environment? Probably very little. So, anyways, so I'm looking at this chart here, and that's the trend line that I'm getting. This is just on an hourly. I'm just trying to do something on an hourly. It doesn't mean it's going to actually do anything of this, but the fact that it's in between this, the fact that it's in between this low right here and this high, so the price is right in the middle. We're in the same scenario where I'm thinking it has to break higher. The price always has to break higher at this point in time. There's no point in retreating, because once you start falling down, I think it may cause some panic, because after all, the price is very high, and any price, anything that shows weakness in the price, I think will cause a lot of panic. We're right here in the middle, and then we'll have to watch if it breaks below this. This is, let me see, what price is this? I'm trying to get a low. 7,935, and then the high is, let's see what the high is. $8,354.50. This is on Bitstamp on a 1 hour. So there's a lot of price in here. There's almost like at least $1,000 range here in which the price can go up or down. So take it for what it's worth. But if I was just to look at it, I would say the price would go up just because the trend is pushing up higher. At this point, I'm on the 12-hour, and this line means nothing now. So I'll just take it out. Let me see here. All right. When I look at the 12-hour, I'm just looking at averages here, the simple moving average here, and then simple moving average here. It's riding this moving average, and so it looks like it will continue to ride this moving average, which is in a there could be a possible support at this moving average right here. which is 7,400 and 7,444. So this is a support option. Let me see what else. I get to the day. The day shows a slight gap, but I don't think it means anything. The average seems to have touched the bottom of this red candlestick. It's wick down here. So it looks like it's just going to go up. If I just look at the average and then look at the chart, look at the price, it just looks like it's going to go up. And then as I zoom out further to the 3-day, the 3-day is a possible chance of some consolidation because there's a gap right here now, a gap between this moving average and where the current spot price is. But even then, the lowest on this wick down here on the bottom, there is a gap. And so sometimes the price has to come and kind of meet where the average is, although the average is moving pretty fast as well. But it still looks like it's going to go up. I mean, that's the trend. That's the way it's going. I mean, you would think with all this stuff about Tether and BitfineX that the price would go down and it would be crashing, right? I mean, but it's not. It's not, because obviously it doesn't really matter. People are still buying Bitcoin. On this 1 week, there is a huge gap here. You can see that there's a gap between this average line and this even where this wick is. And it looks like this short-term trend line, this 10-period average, moving average, is going to meet up with let me just take out the rest of this, is meeting up with this longer trend line right here. It's meeting up with this, which you know, could be good, could be bad. It could also mean, you know, we've reached a point of exhaustion. It could also mean that, at least as far as where the support is. And if you're looking for a support, this area right here could be a support. But also when I see the price, the average price meet where the this trend line is, this upward top channel trend line, it could mean that exhausting, a point of exhaustion. In other words, there's not enough, or there's not enough buying or any new buying going on to the point where it can drive the price further. So it may have to come back to an average, which is this average right here. As you can see, there's a huge gap. A huge gap. Let me see how much in dollar terms. This is right now, it says 68. And just the bottom of the wick is 7,770. So it's almost $1,000. So it's more than $1,000 right now. But if you pull back, and you looked at this, it's still going up. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who are shorting. Hey, how you doing, Fun Machine? So you made it just in time. We're at the end of the show. We're doing the chart analysis. So, but if you look at this, if you just look at the chart, it just, you know, it just looks like it's really trending up, and it doesn't seem like it won't stop. And I don't know when it will. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hopefully you didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to sneeze in your ear. But forgot what I was talking about. But anyways, it's I wouldn't try if you're gonna sell your Bitcoin, to sell it to get your original investment out and then leave everything in, because it's going to be risk free at that point. So you don't have to worry if the price drops, because it may drop all of a sudden, but it may also go back up all of a sudden as well. And we've seen that here on this red candlestick, and just to make higher highs. So if you're going to pull out so you can get your money back. Everything else could be risk free, and you can just let it ride. And if it goes to 10,000, you'll be very happy you did. You may even kick yourself for pulling out your original investment, because you would have made more money. If it goes down, that gives you another opportunity to, of course, buy the dip. And so, anyways, let me conclude this episode here. I think I talked enough about what I wanted to talk about. The price is still above 8,000, despite the fact with Tether tokens and all this other stuff going on. Here's the meme. Enjoy the meme. So I don't know if Tether is really an issue. If anything, I think it's going to help the price of Bitcoin. I know I sound like a quote unquote Bitcoin maximalist. Like, if something bad happens, it's good for the price of Bitcoin. If something good happens, it's good for the price of Bitcoin. But I'm just thinking about the situation with tethers, and that there's obviously a lot of tethers in the market, on these exchanges. Now, if there are users who are using Tether to, quote unquote, cash out of their cryptocurrency, well, you have to realize those tethers don't do anything. They serve no purpose whatsoever. You can't cash out of Tether, and I don't think you ever will. And so it's eventually you're going to have to buy into a cryptocurrency. And the three cryptocurrencies that I think people are going to be buying into is, first, Bitcoin, because you'll be able to cash out. You'll be able to move your coins to another exchange, in which, like Coinbase, GDEX, Gemini, Bitfinex, and others that don't accept Tether, that actually will give you money, like will wire you like whatever money you need. That's going to happen. Also, Ethereum and Litecoin. These Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are all available on different exchanges to be cashed out. Maybe well, I wouldn't say Dash, but Bitcoin, I know for a fact, you don't even have to take to an exchange. You can actually trade peer-to-peer and get cash out. You can cash out that way. That's doable. I know that for a fact. These other altcoins, whether it be Litecoin, Ethereum, or whatever altcoins that you have, it's way harder to cash out. So Bitcoin's probably going to be to-go cryptocurrency. I wouldn't be surprised if people already start buying and trying to pull out of Kraken, Poloniex, Bittrex, Cryptopia, maybe YoBit. What the exchanges that don't take U.S. dollars and don't send U.S. dollars. Those are the exchanges that are at risk. I would say dump your Tether and start buying Bitcoin, because those tethers are not redeemable in any way, shape, or form. And so don't be a bag holder of Tether. You definitely don't want to be a bag holder of Tether. Anyways, I'm going to conclude this episode. So feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment. Let me thank everybody in the chat. FUD Machine, I know you're late, but you came just on time. Olaf Haskey. My name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Thank you for coming into the live chat. Uh, Errors Gaming. Sorry I didn't see you earlier before, but welcome to the chat and welcome to the channel. I don't know if you're asking me this question is what do I think of 1070s in a rig will be beneficial? If that question is directed to me, I have to say I don't know because I don't mine Bitcoin. The way I mine my Bitcoin is I use my money to mine Bitcoin, which essentially is what you're doing when you mine and you're buying when you buy mining rigs, you're using money to mine Bitcoin. Well, instead of me buying mining rigs, I just go ahead and just buy the coins that I want, and that's how I mine for Bitcoin. I use my money just the same way as any miner does. They need money to initially. Typically, what happens is if you're a miner, you buy Bitcoins, and then you take your Bitcoins or whatever coins, maybe Bcash or Litecoin, and then you send those to the mining manufacturers, and then you get your mining rig. I think mining is important if you really have a desire to do that. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my thing. What I do is I just buy the coins that I want because essentially when you're mining, that's what you're doing. Now, maybe Yellow Fever for you, I know he mines, and he has this little secret sauce that he does in his mining rigs, but it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't do that. And so, anyways, I'm going to conclude this episode. Thanks for everyone being in the chat. Fun Machine, Yellow Fever for you. Sorry if I'm going over this. Olaf Hauski, Errors. Who else is in the chat here? DD8209. Qbro. 21 Million Club. Let me see who else. Oh, Patrick. I don't want to forget about you. And Free Skillshare Media, as well as Bitcoin B. And who else is in the chat? Blender Mania. I don't want to forget about you. And Dual Overhead Camness. Definitely don't want to forget about you, Richie Rich, as well. All right, there we go. Thank you for everyone. I'm going to end this live stream, so feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even leave a comment after the live stream, of course, and then, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye-bye.